Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. I say that every week. I really do mean it. I really do hope you're having a fantastic week. I hope it was a productive one last weekend as well. A bit of a mixed bag when it came to anytime notebook fancies. We put up Sanchez Watt at a nice price, 7-2. We said he was going to be influential in Colchester's inevitable climb into the League One playoffs. He says with a not too much of a degree of confidence. And he duly went and scored two, like I say, at a nice price. So we didn't really get a run with Jeff Hughes. He was put in Rose Ed by Jordan Richards after a couple of minutes when Fleetwood beat Hartlepool at home. So he didn't last. He didn't last to the 10-minute mark. So we didn't really get a run from him. That hopefully we will have three players this weekend who steer clear from a bit of injury and give us a run from our money. League One, not much action. FA Cup action takes place over this weekend. There's only 7 games. However, all of those 7 games, I can see goals coming in those games. Just had a quick look and. Sporting Index have put the spread, or total goal spread across League One in the 7 fixtures this weekend at 19.5, which just puts you under 3 a game, puts you in profit, which I thought was a decent avenue into a bet that covers all the fixtures in League One this weekend. We'll start off at Tranmere versus Crewe. I know Jim Knight and Mark O'Hare both talked about this game as well. And it's much the same here. I see a lot of goals here. Kind of the worst home defence in the division against the worst away defence in the division. It's probably got 7-4, 8-5, 13-8 written all over it this game. Wanting more side, can't keep a clean sheet at home. So we addressed those problems this week by going out and signing Jake Casti, who's not a defender. He plays up front. Scored all those goals for Tranmere at the beginning of last season. He's a good fit. I think him and Ryan Lowe will form a good partnership up front, but it's kind of surprising that Moore didn't go out and strengthen his defensive frailties. Like I say, conceded all of those goals this year. I guess what we can surmise is that he probably sees attack as the best form of defence, and he's going to go on the front foot and attempt to score more than the opposition, which is good news when it comes to looking at goals in games. They host Crewe, who go there with a real live chance. I agree with everything that's been said in all the other previews so far. 3 wins in their last 5, scored 10 goals in their last 5 as well. So I think that whilst Tranmere will look to score goals of their own, I guess, I think they've still got those same defensive frailties and Crewe can take advantage. So goals everywhere in this game. You look down the list, Ryan Lowe, Jake Casti look far too short in the betting. Jake Casti, whilst he is a good player and a good fit, I don't know whether he scored any for Wolves this year, maybe just 1 or 2, but not a goal scoring record to be putting much faith in short prices about. So we look at the Crewe side. One name that sticks out: 12-5. Chuck Zanike, 5 goals in his last 9 games, on loan from Arsenal. Normally finds himself getting on the end of most good things that Crewe do. So we'll stick him in first of all, 12-5 to open up the anytime notebook treble. We'll stay in League One. Rotherham at home to Crawley. Steve Evans hosting his old side at the New York Stadium. Steve Evans responsible for my favourite quote of the season so far, when he took his Rotherham side to Crawley earlier in the season. They won 2-1 at the Broadfield Stadium. He came out of there, said in his post-match interview, when Steve Evans visits the Broadfield, he normally leaves with 3 points in his pocket. So if you needed anything to know about Steve Evans, that tells you everything. A legend in some people's eyes, no doubt. They've continued to score goals. I think in the last week or two, I thought they might dry up a little. They might start to struggle once Nua Dicko left just after Christmas, but they've continued to score goals. Scored 12 in their last 4 at home. Tom Hitchcock has come in, done a good job. He's on loan from QPR. Scored a whole host of goals for Crewe earlier in the season as well. I think what it tells us is that this Rotherham side, and I haven't seen them this season, but I saw them a couple of times under Evans last season. And they just create loads and loads and loads. Ben Pringle, Lee Frecklington, a really decent midfield for League One level. And I think they'll continue to go well this year. Essentially what I guess I'm saying is that you can stick anyone up front in that side and they should continue to do well, especially when they face Crawley this weekend. So Crawley have conceded 2 goals in 5 of their last 6 games. John Gregory just hasn't got the knack of scoring them at one end and keeping them out at the other end, which is the answer to everyone's problems in the Football League. I think Steve Evans is going to want to put on a bit of a show, so I can see plenty of goals, plenty of chances coming Rotherham's way. And I know it's a short price, but I still don't think it's probably short enough. Tom Hitchcock, he's bound to be involved. in some of those attacking moves. He's priced up at 7-4, so we'll put him up as well. So 7-4 Tom Hitchcock, 12-5 Chuck Zanike. We're going to go down into League Two for the third leg of our treble. A big month for Bristol Rovers and John Ward in particular, struggling at the bottom of League Two. Played 6 games since Boxing Day, 5 of those have been away from home. They'll be more than happy to get back to the Memorial Stadium this weekend. 4 of their next 5 games come at home, like I say, where they've got a good record, just 2 defeats all season at their home ground. So I think, they string 2 or 3 wins together, they could easily find themselves escaping the bottom half and moving up into relative safety. They host a Newport side who will just be pleased to get some games under their belt. Had a few cancelled since the start of the year. I think they've only played 2 games since the turn of the year, and we're rapidly approaching the end of January. So they'll be more than keen to get some games under their belt. They'll have every chance this week. They play 3 games in 6 days. They've got a game on Saturday, a game in midweek, and I think they play on the Friday as well. So that's going to catch up with them. Justin Edinburgh's side, notorious for keeping it tight, I think, earlier in the season. Signs that the wheels might just have come off. Conceded 2 at Chesterfield, 4 at Kidderminster, 3 at Peterborough, 2 at Northampton, and 3 in that 3-all draw with Accrington last year. We've put up a few Bristol Rovers goal scorers this season already, but when you go down the list, John Joe O'Toole still sticks out for me on the penalties. 6 in 9 at home games. Normally gets on the end, kind of plays a kind of free-ish role in those. I think it's a front 3 just behind Matt Harold. I'm sure Bristol Rovers fans will put me right. He normally finds himself on the end of good things if he's not creating them himself. 3-1, 7-2 shout all day long, but some layers still put their head above the parapet at 5-1. So let's see if we can make them pay this weekend. So John Joe O'Toole goes in the notebook at 5-1 to join Tom Hitchcock at 7-4, Chuck Zanike for Crewe at 12-5. And like I say, don't be afraid to get on the right side of a total goals by this weekend in League One, which looks a good way of getting involved. Have a productive weekend. I will see you on the other side. Good luck. See you soon.